I slept with my best friend's husband. It was the worst decision of my life. She smiled and said, "Thank you." 5 years ago, I was in a very different place in life. I was tired, insecure, and quietly frustrated with where I was standing compared to everyone else. I was working nonstop and trying to convince myself that I was content. I wasn't desperate exactly, but I was hopeful in a way that made me reckless. My friend Marissa and I were close back then. We talked almost every day. She trusted me, leaned on me, shared things she didn't tell many people. She wasn't married, and often talked about wanting stability. Someone dependable. Someone who could lift her life up a little. That's why when she told me she was trying online dating, I didn't think much of it. Plenty of people do it. She asked me for advice, sometimes even showed me profiles. We laughed about awkward introductions, weird messages, all of it. Then one day she showed me his profile. His name was Daniel. He was older than us, about 15 years older, but not in a way that felt alarming. He owned a business, dressed well, spoke calmly, and seemed steady. The kind of man who knew who he was. Marissa was clearly impressed. She kept saying things like, "This might finally be my chance." I told myself I was just being supportive when I asked more questions. I told myself I was just curious when I looked him up later. I told myself I was just making conversation when I messaged him. Something casual, nothing inappropriate. That's the lie I clung to for a long time. Daniel and I started talking. At first it was harmless, friendly, polite. He was easy to talk to, and I noticed he listened in a way that felt rare. I didn't even realize when the tone shifted, when messages got longer, when replies came faster, when I started waiting for my phone to buzz. Marissa eventually chose him. I remember smiling when she told me they were officially dating. I hugged her, congratulated her, told her I was happy for her, and part of me meant it. But another part of me felt something ugly rise in my chest, something I didn't want to name. They didn't date long before they got married. It all moved fast, almost unreal. I watched her life change almost overnight. New house, more comfort, less stress. I told myself I was proud of her. I told myself jealousy was natural and temporary. But the messages between Daniel and me never stopped. That's where everything truly went wrong. At some point, I stopped pretending I didn't know what I was doing. I hid the chats. I erased notifications. I told myself I wasn't stealing anything, because I wasn't physical with him yet. That distinction mattered to me then. It helped me sleep. When I finally crossed that line, I felt thrilled. Daniel also gives me mixed signals too. Some flirty text, and I am happy about it. Eventually, Daniel told me he was filing for divorce to be with me. Next part on my playlists,